Good morning! Welcome to Todd Family Farm. Today we have quite a bit of different style of a video for you. I guess I'm doing most of this video. I'm gonna show you a video, and I'm gonna voice over some video I took last summer with my thermal. I have a handheld monocular, and it's a thermal unit, so sometimes we can use that for coyote hunting or just um, knowing what's going on outside if we hear noises and just keeping watch on stuff. So security, I guess you could say. So I have that, and I went out one day last, maybe late spring, and you're gonna see it. So that's what this video is. It's kind of long, but it's kind of enjoyable. I try to keep it pretty interesting the whole time and tell you how things are going, but even all the way till the end when the surprise animal kind of shows up, and pretty enjoyable. So that's what this video is. It's a throwback to last June and warmer times, because we can look outside now. I could show you. I don't know if it would see or not, but we're currently in a blizzard warning with 20-mile-per-hour winds and 7 below wind chills and 7 below actual temperatures coming tonight. So this is a welcome change to winter around here. So I hope you enjoy the video. It's a little bit different. Watch what you can of it. We appreciate you watching. Stay tuned. Enjoy. Thanks. Okay, welcome to Todd Family Farm, and this is a unique video I'm going to show you today. What we have here now, this is my thermal, and see all those red dots high on the screen? Those are cattle about 3/4 of a mile away grazing CRP, and that dot right in the middle of your screen right now, that was a deer grazing in a cornfield. Now what I'm going to show you is thermal imaging that I took last summer in 2020. So this would be along about like in maybe early June of 2020, and I am using a handheld thermal device. Now I went out to my yard, and that's a skunk, and you can see all this is at the same time here, and this was a good night of a lot of wildlife. And that little skunk, I'm sorry for the shaky video, I'm getting closer. I don't want to get too close to a skunk, but this is literally, that's our vehicle, there's the bikes, this is literally right out my back door. And that skunk, he doesn't know I was there, he's just running. And the way skunks act is they run from bush to bush to bush, and we have a bunch of aronia berries and lilac bushes and red buds out there. And he was going from the base of every single bush, digging, and presumably what I would guess is looking for, I guess that was him going into the lilac bush. That was a still photo. There he is. And that's a big lilac bush, and he was looking for grubs. And skunks are so unique. They're little busybodies. And see, he went from every bush, and then he would dig. And he's got his tail up in the air, and he would dig for grubs around the base of every single bush that we had in our yard. That's a big aronia berry right there that he's at. And that dark image is an aluminum flagpole. And now he's going to go to the next. And those smaller bushes between the pole and those big bushes are lilacs. And he's going, and he's smelling and sniffing and searching for anything he can dig out, rodents or grubs. Skunks are terrible on eggs, like turkey eggs, but they do enjoy, there he goes across the driveway, they do enjoy grubs and worms and such. So now he's going to run up the other edge of the driveway, and I'm just watching him and recording him in the thermal. And that's our backyard. Sorry about this photo, I should have deleted that out. There, so I was going down. Now you see two images. That is our pond driveway going down to our pond. And across from our pond was a deer bedded down. And there's the skunk heading down the pond road, wandering around. And he's going to make his way down to the pond. And then I see, ta-da, there is a doe bedded down. Now you can pick up, even in a thermal, windrows of hay. We had mowed the hay down, and we actually had it raked up, and it was going to be baled the next day. And that's the pond road going down. You can see my windmill right there. And ta-da, you see that coyote coming in. So we got a skunk here in the foreground, and the coyote just coming. And off to the right there, you recall there's that big doe. And she was laying in between the windrows. And the skunk's heading down. I don't know what happened here, but there's the skunk. There's the deer. She's bedded down and she's happy. And here comes the coyote. He's hanging out over there for a while. And we see more wildlife here, but this is in real time. I had to record this, and I guess I should have spent some time actually editing this down, but this is actually real time, and there's a couple more sets of animals that come into play here, and that coyote eventually makes his way over to the doe, and it's just kind of entertaining. And it was probably like 70 degrees out, like I said. All around the pond we had it hayed, and you can see the windrows if you look real carefully, and the coyote's going in between the windrows and looking for mice in the windrows of hay. So it's bare ground. There, he jumped over. You saw him jump over the windrow right there. Now he may jump over one again, but he's looking for dead snakes, rabbits that I hit mowing, mice messing around in the windrows. And I was very intrigued by this. And if you get bored, skip ahead, see the end. But I want you to learn about animal behavior. And we have 3 totally different animals here, and they all act different. That skunk's on a mission, looking for grubs. There it goes. It's heading down to the pond, you know. And here comes Mr. Coyote, and he moves. Coyotes move of a night, okay? They cover a lot of ground. And now he's going to come up and run up on this doe, and you're going to see what happens. Now, coyotes are very misunderstood creatures. Yes, they are vicious killers. Are they cold-blooded killers? No. They aren't calculated, cold-blooded killers. Are they hot-blooded killers? Maybe a little bit closer to hot-blooded killers. But what I would say is they're opportunists. They are like electricity or water or most other things in nature. They are going to go the path of least resistance. Sometimes people wonder where they put a deer stand at. And I say wherever you would walk, that's where a deer is going to walk. A deer is not going to find a hard path to take. Everything in nature is path of least resistance. Coyotes are the same way. If a coyote comes up on a dead... Now, there, you see in the water, that's a whole big old flock of geese. So the coyote now has seen the geese. So he's intrigued, and the geese started barking or honking at the coyote. So massive amount of geese, and I think there's actually a pair over on that other side. So we have geese, skunk, coyote, and that deer right there. Now he's right there in the middle of the screen, and he's found him something to eat or hunt, maybe a mouse in that windrow. Anyways, that's my point with coyotes. They are opportunistic. Mr. Skunk's made his way down to the cabin. The geese are now busted up off the shore, and they're heading over toward the fuss at the coyote. And this is pitch black outside, remember, middle of the night. Coyotes do it easy. They're not going to make things hard. They would rather eat a dead pig rather than go and try to kill a deer. Okay? They would rather kill your cat than to try to kill a wild deer. They would rather, if they can't breed it or eat it, if they can't breed it, they'll eat it. But, coyotes, they eat carn. That's the southern way. That's the way we say carrion, dead stuff, roadkill. They eat anything that's easy. They prefer deer meat over pig meat, but they prefer dead meat over live meat more than anything else. If they don't have to kill it, they're not going to kill it for the fun of it. But they will most definitely and happily kill something to eat it. So here he is, and we're going to eventually get these both. Oh, he detected her. I turned it sideways so we could get them both in the same frame. Okay, now he knows, and he's going to go up there. I don't know if the deer has detected that the coyote is there yet, and I'm going to straighten this out as they come closer together, and you can watch them. Now that coyote, most people would say, oh, he's going to stalk that deer and kill it. Nah, he's thinking, I'm not all that hungry. I'm not going to mess with a fully grown deer and try to kill it. He's thinking, where's the mice? Are there pheasant eggs? Are there baby pheasants? Is there something easy to kill and eat? Because I'm all about using the least energy to get the most gain. So now if that deer wants to go ahead and die or let me kill it, I'll be happy to. But am I going to waste much energy on it? No. There's the geese. They are not happy. And if you see the skunk to the right of the cabin heading out to the beach, but the geese are now fussing at the coyote. And I believe there was a pair sitting on a nest right near the shore where that coyote is. And the coyote's starting to get worried. And I'm not sure if he knows that deer's there or not. He might smell it. Now that you see the deer is looking at him, he's getting close. Oh, she's up. He stopped. He's like, what's going on? What's happening? Oh, she's got her tail up. She's going to approach him, and out goes Mr. Coyote. He's thinking, I don't know if I want to mess with that doe. See how that deer? Single coyotes are kind of cowardly. There's the geese coming to the north shore. They don't want no piece of it. There's a coyote. He's backing off of that deer, and that deer is going after that coyote. Why? Because coyotes are most deadly when there's two or more and in a pack. And they pack up either in their litter or in the wintertime. But many times coyotes are single, solitary animals. And when they're alone, they're pretty cowardly. They're just like a bully in school. You know, bullies alone are usually, they show their true cowardice, but they get mouthy and lippy when they're around others. And dogs are terrible for that, both domestic dogs and coyotes. If you let coyotes pack up, or wild dogs pack up, or even domestic dogs pack up, they get so much more bold and aggressive. Now this solo coyote, he's a coward, and he don't want a piece of that deer all by himself. He's looking for something easy. If you put a dead fish and a dead pig and a dead deer out here, a coyote prefers the deer. That's his favorite meat. If you put that dead deer, dead fish, and dead pig out here, eagles will eat the fish first. Eagles prefer fish over anything else. Then they eat. Now I changed it to white hot. That is black hot mode. That's the black hot mode. So I changed mode here a little bit. Now what happened there is that pair of geese right there in the center of the screen, he's over on the shore, see? And halfway between him and this other side, if you look, I'm sorry it's shaky, you can see there was two geese that he boosted off. He knows they're out there. He'd like to get a hold of them geese, and he's checking out for a nest. So he's looking for their nest, but they're out in the water. And actually, I think they had 3 babies with them. Now see, they're moving. If you look over on the left side of your screen in the water, that's a pair of geese with like 3 babies. The coyote wanted them geese babies because they're easy to kill. So he's messing around. That deer's watching him. This whole big flock over here is still hanging out. And Mr. Skunk is somewhere in that tall grass. Now he wants to go on by. Now let's see what happens. He was making his way down. And that doe doesn't know. She's still looking at him towards the windmill. But he snuck up right where she was laying. A coyote kills the easiest thing it is to kill, depending on how hungry he is. And a coyote likes to kill opportunity. He doesn't know what he's going to kill when he gets up.
See, he snuck by that deer, and that deer is still looking over at the geese that's fussing. They're really flapping and worried. He's made his way all the way up towards the top, towards the road. And he's going. He's looking for easy stuff he prefers it to be already dead. Coyotes don't necessarily enjoy killing so much. They're not. Otters enjoy killing fish. And there's some other animals in the world that enjoy killing. They almost kill for sport. Coyotes don't kill for sport. They're all business. But they are vicious killers when it comes to it. Your cat, your dog, other animals, they kill without remorse. But they don't it's not a crime of passion, it's not a crime of vengeance, it's not a cold calculated crime. They just eat. It's business. Now remember, this is all been mowed and windrowed, so everything is all the grass has been cut and it's dried, ready to bale. And now that deer is still looking over at them geese, and that coyote's going back and forth between the windrows, looking, just looking and looking. Now that was right about where that deer was laying. He smelled that. Now he's going to be heading back. And long about now, if I remember correctly, I'm making this video like 6 or 8 months later. I think the deer might snort at it. But that deer is very attentive. Now, the coyote knows. The coyote didn't realize the deer was up on the hill still. And he's jumped over a windrow hay. Now he's going to go up there and see. She's coming right back down to him. They're going to have a little standoff here. She's going to mosey this way. He's going to mosey back that other way. So you see, there, jumped over that big windrow. It was a pretty big windrow of hay. It was our first cut, and it was a big cut in the hay. So now the geese are moseying out this way. So you see, there's a lot of stuff that happens at night, especially on summer nights. And every time there's that coyote, the geese, the pair with babies. It's interesting to see the dynamic and the interaction with animals. But you have this sense that coyotes are just around snarling and mad all the time. And they don't have to be mad to kill you, or a fawn, or your cat. They just do it happy. They joyfully. I mean, they don't enjoy it, but they're not. They don't have to be mad to kill something. They just do it if it's edible. That's a little still photo. I'm sorry about that. It's business. So they're not doing it out of anger or hate or love or jealousy. They're just doing it. So he's come all the way back around, and he's going to take off and leave. Is what he'll end up doing. And now we have another critter coming into the frame. That is a fox. So here we had skunk, a flock of geese, a deer, and we have all these, and we have an additional animal, and this is a fox. Now that fox is going to make its way around the pond, and it's going to come up onto the coyote, and they're not going to like each other too much, and they're going to go their separate ways. And that fox is going to come up to, I think they meet here. And that fox is on the dam. The deer came all the way back down to its bed. It was happy with where it was, and there's the pair of geese. And again, this is pitch black. They can't see like I can see. I'm just watching them. Oh, that's the fox. The fox sees the coyote up on the dam now. And the fox thinks, I don't want a piece of that coyote, because coyotes kill foxes. Territorial. Killing. And A coyote will come up into your backyard, and if it can breed your dog, it will. But if it can't breed it, it'll eat it. And it'll be like nothing personal, no hard feelings, but I'm gonna breed you or eat you. And they're just killers. It's they're just they don't have to have emotion behind it. The only emotion they have is hunger, survival instinct. Now I guess there's some here. I'm just observing and watching, see if anything's exciting happening. And the rest of the video is pretty calm. And I'm going to show you that fox. There's a nice shot of the fox coming up the driveway. But you can really see how all nature interacts with itself of a night. Oh, there is the fox that has come up the same exact path that see it? You can tell it's a fox too. That's the path that the skunk just went down. So the skunk started in my yard. And now the fox and the deer are in the same shot. Except on other sides of the pond. I'm sorry. There's the corn. That is corn growing. So the corn was like ankle high at this time. So probably sometime in June. And I should say it's not quite knee high. It's like shin high. See that little cute little fox making his way up. You see that black? There's a white part of the pond and there's that black dot. That was my aerator in the windmill lifts water, and that's where the water was being lifted. And you can tell that water coming up to the surface is cooler water because it's black. And that's how a windmill operates. So fox, doe, geese, coyote. And I was really wishing that the skunk would come back into frame, but it's somewhere in there. And that's about all I have. That's the end of it. I hope you didn't get too bored, but it's very interesting how animals interact with each other. I appreciate you watching the video. Maybe Abby will give you a little outro. But right here I shined my light and I verified it was a fox, and he got scared and kind of took off.
Well, if you watched the end of that video, we appreciate it. It's like I say, it's kind of unique. We don't usually do that, but that's interesting. I thought it was neat. So one of the advice I got, some of the advice I got when we first started the YouTube channel was do what you enjoy. So I enjoyed that video, and I hope you did too. Thank you for watching to the end. If you have any other things you would like us to see in the winter is slow, especially here in Iowa, especially as a farmer. So we're going to show you starting up the stove here pretty soon. So we're going to crank this guy up and just be around. So if you have anything you want to see, let us know. We'll be happy to do it. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Bye.